Joining us now, former chair of the Washington, D.C. Democratic Party and a NewsNation political contributor, A. Scott Bolden. Thanks so much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. All right, let's get the first question out of the way. $70 million they raised. What happens to that?
Well, they get to keep the $70 million. Remember, they're a 501c4, and their education and charitable purpose is to promote social good and the social welfare of the community by having a no labels and unity message and practical politics, which is promoting the social good. So they get to keep that money.
All right. Even though they have no candidate, and even though that the promise was, and again, they never said we're definitely going to do this. They said if they see a path to victory. But the people who were donating were, I would presume, primarily donating in the hope that they wouldn't have to pick between Trump and Biden.
So, Dan, I hate to get too legal with you, but the difference is they are 501c4. Mm-hmm. Now, the majority of their mission cannot be more than 50% of politics. They can participate in the political process. They can lobby. They can even get on the ballot in 20 or 30 states, which they did already. But that cannot be their primary mission. So really only 50% of all the money they raised could be used for political purposes. They just couldn't find a candidate. And then former Senator Lieberman passed away. And I think that was a big part of their credibility. And those 30 potential candidates, many were considering it. But with his absence, God bless him and his family, it just didn't appear to be the right thing to do at this time. Plus, it takes a lot to run for president, personally and professionally.
It does. Yeah, look, Joe Lieberman was on this program. I had a lot of respect for Joe Lieberman. But the notion that if he had survived, that somehow they would have had a ticket, to me seems like wishful thinking.
Yeah, we'll never know. But he was a big part of their credibility and personally and directly involved in speaking to some pretty credible candidates. I never believed, and I said it 6 months ago on the Hill on NewsNation, that they were ever going to field a candidate because the measure of a practical path to victory was too high of a bar. And if they couldn't get that, they were either going to hurt Biden or help Trump or vice versa. And it just wasn't going to be consistent. And remember, only 50% of that $70 million they raised could they use on this this practical candidate, this common cause candidate.
Yeah.
To move
but they must have spent a lot of that half on ballot access because it's super expensive. To get on 21, you could argue that could cost up to $40 million. So, all right. Scott Bolden, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it.